better than 20 a game. Bobby Soar in the starting lineup. He's just among the scoring leaders in the NBA. Josh Howard, Eric Dampier.
Anybody who can push the ball and really give Yao Ming and Tracy McGrady any help.
The officials, Derek Stafford, Monty McCutcheon, and Derek Collins. The Rockets controlling the opening tip. This is Sura, Yao Ming, Jim Jackson, and Tracy McGrady gives it up, and here's Bobby Sura. Bob Sura had the back surgery. This is third game back. Did not expect to be activated this quickly. He said things are going a little bit fast for him at this point.
Well, and he's just happy that his team is leading. First time in 2.5 games that the Rockets have actually led.
Nice move by Josh Howard. And the game is tied at 2. Sura in the starting lineup. Charlie Ward on the injured list, as is Tyronn Lue. In fact, Reese Gaines was added to the active roster. Nice move by McGrady. It counts, and the foul.
Well, second possession in a row that Van Gundy went right to McGrady. He told us earlier today, he said, this guy needs to be more aggressive, more assertive, and even take some bad shots if he has to. And I think smart move by Jeff Van Gundy to go to him early to try to get him going.
Foul called on Harris. Jeff Van Gundy telling us that there is as he put it, a mental health problem on his ball club, which is not exactly what it sounds like.
Not exactly what most coaches are looking for.
But he said it's the number one problem as Dirk Nowitzki has tied the game at 4.
A tough matchup for Juwan Howard all night, having to chase Dirk Nowitzki around.
They double up on Yao Ming, leading to the turnover. Here's Harris. Nice play by Juwan Howard. Able to break it up, and last touch by Dallas, says the outside official, Derek Stafford.
Our turnovers have been a problem for Dallas all season. Remember, this has been a team that generally has not turned it over. They've led the NBA in fewest turnovers for 3 straight seasons. But now this is an entirely different team. Obviously, without Steve Nash, they are one of the worst teams now taking care of the ball.
And it's a fast start for the Rockets. Pretty pass. And Tracy McGrady has given Houston a 6-4 lead. Evan Harris, the rookie #1 draft pick out of Wisconsin. Don Nelson telling us he has hit the wall in recent games. Shot clock down at 3. Here's Howard on a step back against Jackson. And a loose ball foul.
Loose ball. Rockets #5.
Foul is on Howard. It is on Juwan Howard.
Now, you said that Devin Harris has hit the wall, Marv. 16 games. You know, most rookies, you say they've hit the wall at 30 or 40 games. Kind of early to be saying that, don't you think?
Yes. And Dampier is called on the foul.
Well, this is another turnover for Dallas, and part of the reason is that they've picked up some personnel that is turnover prone. Dampier, sometimes a little bit like a bull in a china shop down on that block. He starts moving around there. If you get good defensive position, he's prone to that charge.
Here's Juwan Howard, and rebounded by Josh Howard.
Interesting, Houston has not thrown the ball in the block to Yao Ming yet. Every possession they've gone to McGrady.
Harris kicks it out. Nowitzki, yes. Dirk Nowitzki, one of the premier shooting power forwards of all time.
You're absolutely right. I mean, he's young enough where you'd think it's pretty early to say that, but I think he's established that already.
And Yao Ming right back, so the Rockets lead it 8-6. And Houston has come out, hit 4 of 5 from the field. Here's Dampier, and he is fouled. Sura came over trying to help and was called for the foul. I mentioned the 19-point loss here at home suffered by the Mavericks to the San Antonio Spurs the other night, and it was the pseudo-coaching debut for Avery Johnson, who is looking to be a head coach down the road, the eventual successor for Don Nelson. And Don said he's going to give Avery a chance. He's going to coach 5 or 6 times this season, which is most unusual.
Very interesting. And we asked Don about that earlier. He said he didn't think it had ever been done in the NBA. But I think most people agree Avery Johnson has all the makings to be an excellent coach. Certainly Don Nelson feels that way, but it's interesting that Mark Cuban would just allow this to happen, because usually the owner chooses the next coach, not the previous coach.
Back come the Mavericks, led by Josh Howard, Marquise Daniels, and Eric Dampier with a series of fakes on Yao Ming that gives it back. Here's Harris for 3.
It's a big shot for Devin Harris. He has really struggled the last 5 or 6 games, Marvin. He's a young man who loves to shoot the ball, very offensive-minded, and Nelly's trying to get him to pass more, become more of an assist guy. But every shot he makes, every play he makes is a confidence booster.
Back comes Nowitzki. Houston opening up with Juwan Howard defending on Dirk Nowitzki. See the pick from Dampier, and Nowitzki able to put it down.
Well, he just changes the game out there. To have a guy that size who can step 25 feet away from the floor and knock down shots just opens up the entire floor and the whole offense.
Nowitzki 3 of 3 from the field. They double up again on Yao Ming, and that affected his shot. Nowitzki pushing it. Nowitzki with the lead. Harris able to save it. Nowitzki, yes, a rainbow this time from Dirk Nowitzki.
Well, he showed it all on that possession. It's not just about the jump shot, it's the push ability when he does get a rebound.
Sura felt he was fouled by Harris. So Nowitzki is opened up, hitting his
shoulder every time he takes a shot for either approval or criticism. They went over his statistics. The last 2 years, he's been averaging 24 shots a game. Now he's down to just 16. And as Coach Van Gundy told him, I don't care if it's a bad shot. You will not get a dirty look from me or your teammates. We have to have you to score more and be definitely more aggressive.
All right, Craig, Juwan Howard with that tip it, and certainly Tracy McGrady has come out looking assertive. Dallas has come out hitting their shots 6 of 7 from the field. Incidentally, that tip by Juwan Howard, the first rebound of the game for the Rockets. Another 3 for the Mavs. This time Marquise Daniels. Now Houston is 29th in the NBA in rebounding, and they have been out-rebounded 6-1 here at the start.
Marv, there's been a lot of talk about Houston trying to run more as we see Jimmy Jackson knock down the 2. A lot of people are saying this team's got to run. Well, in order to run, you've got to get the ball. You've got to rebound. You've got to force turnovers. And Houston does not do either one.
And Marquise Daniels able to penetrate. So the Mavericks with a 19-12 lead, and they have hit 8 of their first 9. And Jeff Van Gundy not pleased about the defensive work of the Rockets. Yao Ming has been off. And a push call by Monty McCutcheon.
Well, this is what I was talking about, Marv. This is a poor rebounding team. It's a team that does not force turnovers, and as a result, they don't get fast break points. On top of all that, they really don't have a point guard capable of pushing the basketball and creating fast breaks. So I don't think the personnel is right on this team, and ultimately, Houston's going to have to put a different cast around Yao and McGrady.
Sura coming up short on that the three-point attempt, able to hustle it down. Talking earlier about Jeff Van Gundy saying that the mental health of this team is a problem. Nice move by Juwan Howard. Jeff saying that there are 4 guys on my team that all feel they should start. All 4 at the 4 spot. Harris passed on that shot. Three-point attempt handled by Yao Ming. He's talking about Juwan Howard, Mo Taylor, Scott Patrick, Clarence Weatherspoon. They all feel that they could be in the starting lineup, and he said it's affected our mental health. It's had a negative twist on our ball club.
Well, I think the reality is, given the personnel on this team, probably none of them should be starting. I think they're all more role players at this stage of their careers. Jeff telling us earlier that you've got McGrady and Yao, both of whom are very mild-mannered. They need pit bulls around them. They need guys who are going to attack the glass, who are going to be aggressive, take things into their own hands, and really support these guys. This entire team is almost too nice. There's not a lot of aggressiveness about them.
Foul on Josh Howard, putting Tracy McGrady at the line. And Andre Barrett, the rookie from Seton Hall, getting playing time as of late, has checked in for the first time. He's defending on Harris. Harris kicks it out. Nowitzki with some room for three. Rebounded by Yao Ming. McGrady handles. And that pass picked off. Here comes Howard on the run. Offensive foul. McGrady taking the charge.
Howard doesn't like it. Don Nelson jumping up, but I think this is an excellent call. Josh Howard out of control. You see McGrady. It's not that your feet have to be still. It's that you need position. You need to be in front of the guy. And Josh Howard can't just run over him and expect to get a block called there.
4.5 remaining in this opening quarter, and the Mavericks with a 19-16 lead on the Rockets. Marv Albert, Steve Kerr, Craig Sager were in Dallas. McGrady. Yes, so Tracy McGrady looking for his shots here at the start. 3 of 4 from the field. He has 8 points.
You can see the difference in his body language, Marv. He's aggressive. He's feeling it a little bit. And I think it was an excellent move by Van Gundy to go to him early and to tell him, look, we need offense out of you. And it's really relegated Yao Ming to a secondary role, but at this point in his career, that might be the best spot for Yao Ming, to be the second guy behind McGrady.
Jerry Stackhouse has checked in for the first time. Jerry Stackhouse struggling with the shot as of late. Daniels. Marquise Daniels. Exciting, slashing type player. Had a terrific final month of last season. Averaged 21 a game in that final month. Not bad for a player who was not drafted.
Well, he, like Gilbert Arenas last year, as we see Dallas taking the ball away and turning it over at the other end. But both players took advantage of being second-round picks. Became free agents after their first year and signed big contracts.
We are seeing the Tracy McGrady of a couple of years ago. That's exactly what Jeff Van Gundy is looking for.
Well, getting out and running is something he's more used to, and he misses it, I think.
Well, Andre Barrett has come on. He's made a difference because he's pushing the ball. Here's McGrady again from downtown. Tracy with 5 of 6 from the field. He has 13 points, and the Rockets have taken a 23-21 lead. McGrady is the last 9 points for Houston. Both clubs shooting well. Nowitzki over Howard. Rebounded by Dampier. As Dampier makes his move, he's hit on the arm by Yao Ming.
Thanks, Marv. It means a lot to me.
And it was succinct.
Well, it was quick. I didn't want to do the 10-minute soliloquy like our old guy used to do.
Old guy, yes. See the lines under his eyes
already
to develop. We saw him on the pregame with Ernie Charles and Kenny as Nowitzki fires away. Foul is Reese Gaines, who just checked in, called on the foul. Reese Gaines, first-round pick of Orlando last year, with Tyronn Lue placed on the injured list. Reese Gaines has been activated, playing his first game as a member of the Rockets. And Dikembe Mutombo has come on for the first time.
It's amazing, Marv. They run the screen and roll now with Dirk Nowitzki handling the ball. He comes off of a screen from the center. How many 6'11" guys in the league actually handle the ball on a screen and roll? Pretty amazing.
Shot clock down to 4. There's Howard putting the move on Dampier, forced it. The tip missed. Mutombo kept it alive and then deflected it out of bounds.
Like a lot of teams, Dallas comes out of that timeout in a zone. And I think it's a good tactic. A lot of coaches will draw up plays designed to go against a man-to-man defense. During a timeout, all of a sudden you come out, the other team's in a zone, play goes down the drain.
Sean Bradley has checked in for Eric Dampier. Jason Terry also on the floor for the first time, so Terry will play the point. Nowitzki eluding Howard and scores. Dirk Nowitzki with 10 points. He's hit 5 of 9 from the field. Dallas 10 of 17, 59%. Houston 10 of 18, they're at 56%. Rockets have a backcourt now of Reese Gaines and Andre Barrett. McGrady not able to hit. Here comes Terry in the open floor. Nowitzki met by McGrady. Sean Bradley. Well, a little outside touch by Bradley.
He can do that occasionally. He'll step away from the hoop and knock down that little jumper. You can hear the crowd anticipating it as he puts the shot up. I think fans are still shocked to see a man of that size shooting an 18-footer.
Here's Barrett for 3. Bradley on the rebound. Nowitzki looking to draw the foul. Good block by McGrady, although Nowitzki felt there was contact, and now foul is called. That is on Barrett. Andre Barrett listed at 5'11". Jeff Van Gundy said, about my height. It's about what, 5'8", 5'9"?
If he's 5'11", I'm 6'7", I think. He's
well, they say 5'10" here, but in the book he's I think 5'11", very, very generous. Andre spent preseason with the Knicks, was waived, signed by Houston, following an outstanding career at Seton Hall. His senior year playing for Louis Orr, averaged 17 points, all Big East first team. And the foul, the hack on Bradley. And Maurice Taylor, who just checked in, will go to the line with 25 seconds remaining in this first quarter.
Well, you can see that ever since Barrett came into the game, Dallas has gone zone now the last 3 possessions or so. He's not an accomplished three-point shooter, and when you're shorter like he is, it's tough to play against a zone filled with long-armed, good athletes like the Mavericks have.
Calvin Booth will come on now for Sean Bradley, looking for a place to get all the latest fantasy basketball news. Watch NBA TV Fantasy Hoops every night at 1 a.m. on NBA TV, the only show on television dedicated to fantasy basketball. Well, both teams using the entire roster, and now Bojan Akbar, who has been in and out of the Jeff Van Gundy doghouse, has checked in.
Ooh, the doghouse. Strong words.
But Akbar getting some daylight here.
And he's played pretty well. You know, he's been amongst the league leaders in three-point percentage this year. He's got some energy to him, and I think he's a guy who could flourish with this team given the minutes.
Stackhouse with a post-up. And that's it. That's the end. Over from his mentor, Hubie Brown. Steve, apparently those resumes we sent out finally did the trick. We went to multicolor, life-size photos, DVDs telling us of his fine exploits at Monmouth College. Is Barrett again pushing it down. Jim Jackson for 3. And a reach-in foul as Yao Ming and Marquise Daniels went for that loose ball, the foul on Daniels. You know, I was getting concerned at one point after we only heard from 2 development league teams, 1 team in the Italian league. Oh, there was an offer from the Arena Football League. But the Grizzlies finally made the deal.
Well, I offered him the job of coaching my 12-year-old son's 6th grade team. He wanted 2 years. I would only guarantee him 1. So we just couldn't quite come to an agreement.
This is Jason Terry. Mavericks now lead 27-24.
Seems so strange to watch this Maverick team without Steve Nash. They're so different now. This was such a high-octane offense. They would run at every opportunity. Now they're so much slower.
That is last touched by the Mavs. Yes, gone from last season's roster. Steve Nash, Antoine Jameson, both have been thriving. See the numbers with Steve Nash and without Steve Nash. Rejected and a foul, but what an effort by Calvin Booth going at the 7'6" Yao Ming.
Well, Calvin Booth in his second stint with the Mavericks here and having a nice season as a backup. Looked like it was a pretty clean block, but Jeff Van Gundy's got to be pretty happy watching Yao Ming go to the rim so strongly. Those numbers we just looked at, Marv, with Dallas's assist totals. You know, I don't know if there's a better point guard in the league at Nash in terms of creating opportunities without turning the ball over. And that's something that Dallas has struggled with now. They're near the bottom in assists and near the top of the league in turnovers. It was the exact opposite for the last 5 years with Steve Nash.
Foul on Reece Gaines, and Yao Ming struggling at the foul line. Not only not getting to the line, but when he has been at the line, he's not hitting his shots. And this is a guy who was at 81% at the line last season.
And the big thing is getting to the line. He's only been there, I believe, 4 times in the last 2 games, so he's got to get there.
Calvin Booth in his second go-round with the Mavericks. Remember, had some big moments with Dallas in the postseason 4 years ago, then spent 3 years with Seattle. Acquired in the trade for Danny Fortune, has played well for the Sonics. Here's Jackson, the former Maverick, not able to hit from downtown. Yao Ming, and a foul. A loose ball foul. That's number 3 on Yao. Talking about the free throws, only 4 the last 3 games. Look at these numbers, 6 straight games under 10 rebounds. They've just changed that foul. It was originally called on Yao Ming. Now they say no, it's Maurice Taylor.
Well, I think this guy needs some help, Marvin, especially at the 4 position. I think Houston has to find somebody who has some speed, some power at the 4 position, who can take some pressure off of him, allow him to play. He's got a big burden on his shoulders and not a whole lot of help that's really there for him yet. And that's why I don't think these roster moves are done yet for this Houston team.
Bob Sora has returned. Sora and Jackson now at the guards. Yao up front with Taylor and McGrady.
You know, the thing that is so shocking for any NBA player coming into the league from college or from overseas is the speed and the quickness. But it's especially true for a center. And when you've got Yao Ming being fronted and double teamed by some of the greatest athletes in the world night after night, very difficult to make good decisions and good passes out of it.
Nice move by Yao off the double team. Howard came over to help out.
He did a great job there, just splitting the double team.
As Terry changed his mind as he ran into Yao, and the foul as Booth tried to take it to the rim. Let's check in with Craig Sager. Craig?
Well, Steve, talking about possible roster changes with the Houston Rockets, I talked to Patrick Ewing today. I said, Patrick, who's the leader of this team? Surprisingly, he said Jimmy Jackson, a guy who's been with 10 teams in 13 years. He says he is the vocal leader and our most consistent player. I said, what about McGrady and Yao? He said, well, McGrady really does not want that role, and Yao doesn't feel comfortable that he hasn't been around that long. He said it's best when your best players are your leaders, but he said right now, neither one of those two want to accept the leadership role, and it's Jimmy Jackson.
Jim Jackson has resurrected his career. He's added to his game. Strong defense. 3-point shot has improved. Yao keeps it alive. Here's Yao putting it down, and a foul. Yao Ming with the stuff, and he's hit by Calvin Booth.
Well, that's nice work on the offensive glass and really powering that ball back into the hoop. This is the kind of play that Yao Ming is very capable of making. And if he has a teammate who can penetrate and create some havoc defensively, he's going to have that opportunity more often.
7 points for Yao Ming.
So the leadership issue that Craig brought up is so true and so difficult when your best players are quiet. You need somebody with fire. It's a lot easier when they're your best guys.
That was a beautiful move on the crossover by Jason Terry. Mavericks lead 32-29. Houston with 4 straight losses. Record of 6-10. It's their worst start since the 1999-2000 season. And Calvin Booth having his problems with Yao Ming. That time trying to knock the ball away. Call for his third foul. That'll bring on Eric Dampier.
I love what Yao is doing down there before the ball's thrown to him. He's really trying to establish position right in front of the hoop, and that's how you have to get the ball as a center. You got to do your work before the ball comes in. You establish that position, call for the ball, and I love Yao Ming's aggressiveness so far.
13 foul on the Mavericks. Shot clock down at 3, and a reach-in is called as Sur is slapped. Timeout is called. Nowitzki picks up the foul. That is his first.
The notes I made, try to fight him a little bit more early. No fouls, though. As he come down, just get in his way, fight him a little bit more. He's getting too deep on him.
Get those elbows covered, elbows and boxes covered when McGrady gets that ball.
He wants to put a show on here. You got to know that going in. He's going to take a lot of shots tonight.
Experience that.
You know those seat warmers they have in the cars? I think the head coach's seat has one of those warmers. That's a hot seat that they sit on. And I think Avery found that out the other night.
Nice ball movement. Yao thought he was fouled. And the officials check with each other. Last touch by the Mavericks. Derek Stafford, the outside official, had the view and made the call.
Well, crowd doesn't like it. You'll see that tough to really tell. I mean, even on the replay. So we can blame the officials if we want, but who knows?
Well, it appeared that Dampier knocked it out. I don't think Sur got a piece of it. Nice pass. McGrady to Yao Ming. That will not count. Traveling violation.
Well, I think Yao Ming feeling the defensive presence of the shot blocking Dirk Nowitzki, and that forced him to hesitate just enough to force him to travel.
Here's Stackhouse. Draws the foul. Stackhouse taking it to the rim. Foul on McGrady.
A lot of people felt that Jerry Stackhouse was just a salary cap throw-in in the trade. He's turned into an excellent bench player for the Mavs, one of the league's leading bench scorers so far this season.
And he comes off that injury hit year, played only 26 games last season as a member of the Wizards. National coverage of the NBA continues this week. Tomorrow, doubleheader on ESPN. Coverage starting 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Detroit at San Antonio, followed by Indiana at Sacramento. And Saturday on NBA TV, it's Miami and Denver, starting at 9 o'clock Eastern Time.
Boy, how good have the Spurs been so far this season?
San Antonio Spurs at 13-3, leading that new Southwest Division, followed by Dallas at 10-6. They have 3 games behind. Tracy McGrady now 6 of 9. He has 15 points. Mavs up by 3. Here's Nowitzki with room. Rebounded by Jackson. And as Sur was looking to set up away from the ball, foul is called on Taylor, offensive foul. Dallas Mavericks here at home just 5-3 last year. They had the best home record in the NBA at 36-5. A team that won 52 games but were knocked out of it in the first round by Sacramento in 5. Blocking foul called. It is on Taylor.
I think part of the reason they're struggling a little bit at home, Marv, is that they don't run as much. A year ago, they were such a great fast break team that teams would come in here and get blitzed early. Steve Nash would be running down people's throats. Now all of a sudden they're a half-court team, so their games are closer. The fans don't get quite as into it. And all of a sudden, games close down the stretch and you struggle passing the ball like they have, and you're going to lose some games.
They have led the NBA in scoring the past 3 years, 105 per game last season. See, just under 98 thus far this year. However, last year they were 28th in points allowed per game, giving up 101 points.
I've always thought that stat was a little overrated because points allowed obviously depends a lot on your style of play. I mean, Phoenix this year is probably giving up about 95 points a game, but they're averaging 106, 107. So it's the differential that counts, and Dallas had an excellent differential a year ago.
Here's McGrady for three. Nowitzki on it. Stackhouse. Nowitzki. Not a good shot. Went to the fadeaway. Dirk now 5 for 12 after the blistering start. Sura lost it, and a foul on Sura. Rockets over the foul.
Now it's a bad foul because they're in the penalty, and certainly you don't want to send a guy like Dirk Nowitzki to the line. How about Dallas without a fast break point so far tonight, Marv? It's it's startling, as I mentioned earlier, just to see the difference in the pace of the game. But you get the feeling that yes, they are better defensively, but can they be an elite team in this league with the defense they're playing and the struggles offensively? I don't think so at this point. They still have a lot of work to do.
Well, the Rockets come off that bad loss at home Tuesday night, losing to the Pistons 93-72. And Jeff Van Gundy telling us earlier, he said, we gave in. Well, the word people don't want to hear, we quit. And he posed the question, did they quit on themselves? Did they quit on the team, the coaching staff? Jeff said it was pitiful.
Shocking to hear a coach use the Q word, isn't it? You don't hear that very often.
Here's Yao Ming, try to bank it, had nowhere to go. He's played well by Eric Dampier. Stackhouse with the step and draws the foul.
Oh, what a luxury to have this guy coming off the bench. And he's giving Jeff Van Gundy some fits tonight. But when you can spread the floor like Dallas does with Dirk Nowitzki at the 4, now all of a sudden you've got lanes with which to penetrate. And Jerry Stackhouse is a guy who can not only knock down shots, but get to the line. So excellent weapon off the bench for Don Nelson.
Foul on Jim Jackson.
And candidate right now is Matt Leinart with 1 vote.
All right, thanks, Craig. Charlie winning that Heisman. 1993, guiding Florida State to the national championship. Back with Jeff Van Gundy, although as Craig mentioned, sitting it out on the injured list with that knee problem. Coming up on 6 minutes to play in this first half. Mavs up by 8 points, picked off. Josh Howard off the steal. And here's Jason Terry.
Well, that zone defense by Dallas again, confounding Houston coming out of that timeout. And again, the long arms of these guys. Look at the guys on the perimeter. Josh Howard, Jason Terry, Jerry Stackhouse. So a lot of athleticism to bother Houston with that zone.
An 11-2 run by the Mavericks. Yao Ming, nice move over Eric Dampier.
And that's what you have to do offensively against the zone. Get the ball into the middle, collapse that zone, and when you've got a big target like Yao Ming, it's a pretty good choice. Just throw the ball into him.
Yeah, going to the drop step a la assistant coach Patrick Ewing. Nowitzki. And here comes Barrett, the rookie from Seton Hall. Andre Barrett back on the floor. Played well earlier this first half. Barrett wide open for 3. Yes! Andre Barrett from downtown. So the Rockets are now within 5.
Remember, Jeff Van Gundy told us earlier today he's so short that he really needs to shoot from the three-point line because his release is low. He can't get those two-pointers off at the 17, 18-foot range.
Foul on Yao, that's his 3rd.
Yeah, you'll see the pass here, and Jason Terry really collapsing on Yao Ming, but plenty of space there to get the shot off, and Barrett knocks it down, and that's only the 4th point off Houston's bench tonight. So Jeff Van Gundy still searching for that help for Yao Ming and Tracy McGrady.
Nowitzki now 5 for 5 at the line. And here comes Scott Padgett. So Yao Ming will sit down, leaves with 9 points, 4 rebounds.
Interesting talking to Van Gundy today about this guy, Dirk Nowitzki. He said, the 4 position in the NBA has really been revolutionized. And if you think about it, big guys like this who can really do a lot of things, Kevin Garnett, Tim Duncan, Lamar Odom, Sean Marion, so many guys who can move, who can put it on the floor, who can shoot, who can defend and block shots. It used to be a position where you had a lot of bruisers, guys like Chuck Robinson or Maurice Lucas. Now you've got a whole different breed of guys playing this position.
Guys who are so adept in terms of finesse. Here's Barrett again for three.
Well, that'll get him out of the zone quickly.
So he is now 4 for 7 from downtown in his 5 NBA games.
And you got to love the confidence with which he plays. He's out there like he belongs.
These are Steve Kerr numbers. Offensive foul as Dampier made his move. Stackhouse tried to clear it out and picked up the personal.
Took me about 3 games to get those numbers.
Exactly. Mavericks lead by 4. 4 minutes, 20 seconds remaining in this first half.
And Dallas goes back to the man-to-man after the back-to-back threes from Barrett.
Juwan Howard, Reese Gaines, and a timeout. The stretch playing 5 of 6 at home.
Let's see if the Rockets try to get McGrady going again here. He's hot early, but hasn't shot much in the last quarter.
Shot clock running down, and Barrett had to fire away. Stackhouse looking at the post on Barrett. Well, he succeeded. He beat Barrett, and then Patrick tried to help.
A little cross-match defensively. Dallas ends up with a mismatch.
Oh, McGrady is hacked. Tracy McGrady taking it to the rim, and he'll be back at the line.
Well, this is what you love to see McGrady do. Instead of relying on the jumper, set up the drive by the threat of the three-point shot, get to the rim, draw the foul. Beautiful use of the left hand there. That's what earned him the trip to the foul line.
And when Andre Barrett is on the floor, we're seeing a different Houston Rocket team. They're pushing the ball. They're on the move. Clarence Weatherspoon will check in for the first time. Jim Jackson makes his return. Reese Gaines and Juwan Howard sit down. Andre Barrett playing only his 5th NBA game. Done a nice job here in the first half.
It's amazing what knocking down a couple of shots can do for you. All of a sudden you feel better about every part of your game as Padgett picks up the foul on Nowitzki. Another bad foul. It's 2 free throws for Dirk coming up.
So the Mavericks taking advantage of the Rockets being over the foul limit. High point men of the game, Tracy McGrady, 16. Dirk Nowitzki with 16. Dirk looking to add to that. He is 6 for 6 at the line. Averaging 25.5 per game. 6 games of 30 or more. Second in the league in minutes and free throw attempts.
He's taken on a much bigger role with Steve Nash's absence. He's now making more plays, handling the ball a lot more down the stretch, and he's handling it really well. Career highs in both points and rebounds, playing really, really well.
Shot clock down to 6. Here's Jackson setting his feet, not able to hit the 3. And a new possession for the Rockets. Barrett and McGrady now at the guards with the Weatherspoon, Padgett, and Jackson on the front line. Here's Barrett wide open for 3. That's been his favorite spot. He hit 2 from downtown, that area. Stackhouse off the hesitation. And score.
Wow. Up and over McGrady. Tough shot.
7 points for Stackhouse, shooting his way out of a recent slump.
And Dallas back to the zone.
Padgett putting moves on Bradley. Rejected by Nowitzki. Kept alive by Barrett. Nice play. Barrett getting it to McGrady.
Rockets fans have been saying all season long, Marv, this team doesn't hustle after loose balls. They're not quick to the ball. Some of that has to do with personnel, and I love Barrett in there scrapping, pulling. He's got some speed, and you see what happens when you put some speed out there. You get a loose ball, you get a garbage bucket like that one.
Nowitzki played about as tightly as one can play it. So Scott Padgett was all over him.
How do you guard that? He's 6'11". He shoots from up above his head.
And how about McGrady at the other hand, getting it over Dirk Nowitzki.
20 points in the first half. This looks like the Tracy McGrady we're more used to, so much more aggressive, really using his athleticism to both elevate for jump shots and get to the foul line.
And taking good shots.
Taking good shots and being extremely aggressive.
Nowitzki with the tip.
Well, it's a tough matchup for anybody, and especially for Scott Padgett. You'd like to see Houston send somebody over to help him a little bit.
Here's Jackson way off. Kept alive by McGrady. Weatherspoon. Nice pass. Padgett to the left hand from Weatherspoon.
Beautiful cut by Padgett. That's something that every player should try to do more of in the NBA. The ball goes inside, just cut to the rim. Make the defense work.
Final minute, first half. Dallas with the ball up by 7. Here's Nowitzki. McGrady looking for the screen. Yes. Tracy McGrady has been unconscious here tonight. 9 of 13 from the field. He has 22 points. He also has 5 assists.
He's not hesitant at all. That's what he talked about before the game.
Oh, what a move by Stackhouse. Not able to tip it home. 25 seconds remaining in the half. McGrady with no hesitation.
Why not?
Yes!
Why
From
not?
Downtown, Tracy McGrady. And the Rockets are within 2. 25 for McGrady.
I love it, Marv. I love to see a guy like this just get after it, get aggressive, get some shots up there. It's the only way to get hot. You gotta see if you're hot first.
Dallas playing it down. Final seconds. Here's Terry heaving for 3. Yes! Jason Terry at the buzzer. They'll take a look at the replay, but I don't think there's any question.
Now, look good from over here, Jason Terry. Watch the little hesitation here. Kind of lulls McGrady to sleep just for a second, just enough to get that thing up and over him, and certainly it counts. Not even close.
Well, we talked earlier about the Dallas Mavericks, a different team, not getting points as easily without any fast breaks, and suddenly it's 56 points. What did you try to do differently when you got in there?
Well, I mean, obviously they got a hot hand right now. We got a hot hand with Dirk. We trying to feed him. They got a hot hand with McGrady. We just got to try to control him. We went to a zone, but they started hitting shots in the zone, so we probably had to go back to man-to-man.
How difficult is it for you to come off the bench?
It's not too bad. You know, some nights it's rougher, you know what I'm saying, rougher than others, but, you know, just got to get into it and get going and hopefully put some points on the board.
If the zone's not working, who's going to guard McGrady in the second half?
Well, we're going to have to do it by committee. I mean, between myself and Marquise and Josh, we got some guys to throw at him, so we just got to keep a hand up in his face, but he's going pretty good right now.
All right, thanks a lot. 25 points so far for Tracy McGrady, 22 for Dirk Nowitzki.
Well, you've been urging Tracy McGrady to be more assertive, aggressive tonight. 10 out of 14, 25 points. I guess the message got across?
Well, it's not about one half or one night. I think he's got to play that way all the time. And then on defense, play in the same mindset. He should be a great defender, and he's improved, and we need him to continue to improve.
Great shootout between he and Dirk Nowitzki. What plans do you have defensively against Nowitzki, who has 22 points?
Well, we got to stop fouling him. We gave him 4 free throws, 94 feet from the basket, and just bad fouls, and try to keep him off the line, you know. And I think, 7 for 17 field goals is not bad on him, but he's going to make every free throw, so you got to pull your hands back and make him make.
Thanks a lot. Thank you, Mark.
All right, thanks, Craig. Third quarter is underway. Jim Jackson gets it inside. Yao Ming had it knocked away, lost the grip. He thought he was fouled. Josh Howard comes right back against Bob Sewell. Now Yao is out on Nowitzki. Dampier being played by Howard. Nice move by Eric Dampier, taking the step around Juwan Howard.
Well, that was a mismatch, but you wouldn't have expected Dampier to be able to go around Howard, because Howard should have the speed advantage. Jeff Van Gundy cannot be pleased with that defensive effort.
Now McGrady Made to give up the ball by Josh Howard. Yao with a beautiful spin, and he is held by Dampier. That's 3 on Eric Dampier.
It's interesting to watch Yao Ming's development here in his 3rd season. He's just such an amiable guy, such a nice guy. And I think you almost want to, too nice. I mean, sometimes you look at him and you think, just get mad and take matters into your own hands. And I think that's something that will eventually come to him. He's very competitive. It's not that he doesn't play hard and want to win. In fact, he probably is too conscientious, which is what Van Gundy told us earlier. He cares too much and worries really about the previous play too much. So I think he's still evolving and still trying to figure out the best way to approach the game mentally.
And Jeff Van Gundy telling us that Yao has to figure it out all by himself. And as you mentioned, he's always thinking back at a mistake that he may have made. Here's Harris for 3. He's thinking about that prior move. Another Houston turnover. Harris, nice feed and a foul. Yao Ming going for the rejection on Marquise Daniels. That's number 4 on Yao.
I don't blame him for being upset. I mean, what is he supposed to do? Marquise Daniels comes in on the break. Yao Ming has position, holds his ground, blocks a shot. That's not a foul. Just because he's 7'6" doesn't mean that has to be called.
Marquise Daniels playing with a sprained left ankle. Don Nelson said goes back to the preseason. Marquise now with 8 points. Mavericks lead 59-53. Nice ball fake. McGrady rejected by Nowitzki. Tracy trying to curl his way in for a reverse. It's the rookie from Wisconsin, Devin Harris. Here's Marquise Daniels for 3. Sura able to get to it. Dallas getting back. Look out. Sura recovers. Jackson for 3. Yao on the back tap. And they get the new clock. Yao had it poked away. Last touch by the Mavs.
I think Yao's got to get even more aggressive now offensively. I think the officials understand that he may have gotten a tough call at the other end. It's human nature for them to give him one now at the offensive end if he goes to the rim.
And Jeff Van Gundy staying with Yao Ming despite the 4 fouls. Here's McGrady. Nowitzki. And a foul.
That's the benefit of just pushing the ball. Throw the ball ahead. One of the simplest plays in basketball, and yet one of the most important ones. The defense is off balance. There's no transition. They're unprepared for what's coming, and all of a sudden, Dirk Nowitzki's at the rim getting fouled.
Foul on McGrady. That is his second. Nowitzki, 9 of 9 at the line.
Well, take a look at the throw ahead. You'll see Houston in transition. Everybody's coming back towards the rim, but when the ball is thrown ahead, nobody has the angle. And so Dirk Nowitzki does the smart thing, just take the ball to the rack and use that body, get to the foul line where he is now 10 for 10, Marv.
I thought it was another remarkable telestrator.
Did you?
Part. Yes.
No. I seem to have fallen into this role really smoothly.
Here is Yao Ming.
If I may say so myself. Of course, I had over a year of mentoring from the master himself.
I'm sure you are being judged from afar. Yao and Nowitzki battling for position. Sir with a nice move high off glass. 61-55 Dallas. Here's Harris, rebounded by Yao Ming.
And this is what Sura can bring to this team. He can push the ball, he can rebound it, and really push the break on his own.
McGrady has a mismatch with Harris. Rebounded by Dampier.
Well, Yao's got to be careful there. With 4, he can't afford a cheap one reaching over the back.
Jeff Van Gundy taking a chance. Yao Ming remaining on the floor. Here is Nowitzki, and he is fouled.
I remember what Jeff told Craig Sager at halftime. We can't put him on the line. We fouled him twice in the last few minutes of the half, 50 feet away from the basket. And this is another cheap one. If he's going to shoot a fadeaway 17-footer, you got to get your hand up, make him shoot over you. It's too easy at the line for him.
Juan Howard on the foul, and Dirk Nowitzki. That's his first miss at the foul line. Hit his previous 10.
Good foul there by Juwan Howard.
Yeah. Well, you can enjoy the NBA all season long here on TNT following our game here in Dallas. It'll be game 2 as the Cavaliers go up against the Nuggets in Denver next Thursday. Another NBA twin build on TNT. San Antonio and Houston in game 1, followed by Boston at Portland. Coverage starting at 8 o'clock Eastern time with TNT NBA tip-off presented by Nokia.
Well, Dallas back to the zone here, and Houston having to settle for the Jimmy Jackson 3, but it goes in.
Jim Jackson, one-time member of the Dallas Mavericks. In fact, a first-round pick of the Mavs, 4th selection overall in the draft. And he's with the Mavericks for 4.5 years. Had that spectacular 3rd season. He averaged just under 26 a game. Nowitzki from downtown. 28 for Dirk Nowitzki.
What an amazing basketball player. At that size, to be able to the ball to the rim, get to the foul line, amazing.
Meanwhile, McGrady has missed his first 4 shots of this second half. That pass off the mark, but handled by Nowitzki.
Even Dirk kind of chuckling to himself right now.
There's Terry whipping it to Nowitzki, a catch and shoot. Rebounded by Yao. Look out, Sura is fouled. Blocked by Terry. It's the second on Jason Terry. It'll be Houston ball, non-shooting affair.
Former teammate of Bobby Sura's in Atlanta. Good to see Sura now in uniform for this team. I think he can help them quite a bit. He's pretty athletic. He's a guy who can help on the boards and get out on the fast break and lead the break a little bit too, which obviously is something that the Rockets have really struggled with.
Sura's made it back from back surgery. Remember last year he spent the first 53 games with the Detroit Pistons. Jackson with the runner, and then went on to Atlanta. Jimmy Jackson cuts it to a 6-point Dallas lead. Look out, Terry lost it. Here's Sura battling with Terry. Daniels up on McGrady. Yao had it knocked away. Last touch by the Mavericks.
You mentioned Sura's last month or so of the season with Atlanta. Really resurrected his career. Remember, he had a string of triple-doubles there at the end of the year and earned himself a new contract with Houston.
Shot clock to 6. McGrady. So Tracy has cooled off 0 for 5 in this 3rd quarter. Howard, offensive foul. Bobby Sura draws the charge. Giants of the industry stepping out within the span of 1 week.
It's no coincidence, you know, Marva. All the great ones have to step down sometime. And, you know, in all seriousness, and I know we were very rarely serious with the Czar, as we see Yao Ming get the offensive rebound and get it swatted away. I want to say thank you to Mike for being such a wonderful partner this last year, helping me break into this business. What a terrific man. It's so much fun to work with, and I'm going to miss him. Actually, my throat is kind of sore, too. I have to talk too much now. I liked it better with the Czar here, but I want to say thank you to Mike for everything you did for me, and best of luck to you, Mike.
An emotional moment.
Do you have any Kleenex? I'm getting a little verklempt.
Nowitzki now has 30 points, 5 minutes to play in this 3rd quarter, and the Mavericks with a 67-59 lead. And we wish Mike the very best with the Memphis Grizzlies as Sura comes up short. Oh, Stackhouse faking the shot. Came very close to a travel, and now goes at Jim Jackson. Shot clock is down to 4. Here is Stackhouse for three. Look out. Crowd wanted to travel on McGrady. Jackson from downtown. Jim Jackson is playing through the flu, or as you like to say, flu symptoms.
Flu-like symptoms,
yes.
Marv.
But has come on in the third. 7 of his 9 here in the third. Terry right back. Mavericks now lead 69-62.
You can see how difficult it is for Houston to get back into this game offensively. They have to knock down shots because they just can't create anything with their defense. They don't block shots. They don't make steals. They don't create easy baskets for themselves.
Stackhouse asking for the pick from Dampier, and then the lob. Beautifully done. Yao Ming thought that Dampier was cutting over to set the screen, but instead he went to the rim, and Jeff Van Gundy wants to talk it over with 3:24 remaining in this third quarter. The Mavs now lead by 9.
Well, watch Dampier fakes the screen, go right to the rim by slipping, and Stackhouse with the beautiful execution on the pass. Dampier with the finish.
And the Mavericks lead the Rockets 71-62. Andre Barrett played well in the first half, hit a couple from downtown, is back on the floor, being guarded by Jason Terry. Scott Padgett, Maurice Taylor have checked back in. Shot clock to 3. Here's Barrett. Rare two-point attempt. Rebounded by Taylor. Gets inside.
And a rare offensive rebound for the Rockets. They've done a better job tonight of getting to the offensive glass, getting some second chance points. That's what's keeping them in the game. And with Dirk Nowitzki out here for the final few minutes of the quarter, Houston has a chance to make a little run.
Alan Henderson has checked in for the first time. Daniels off the handoff from Henderson.
Boy, coaches hate to see that defensively. Let a guy get all the way to the rim virtually untouched.
10 points for Daniels. And Padgett is fouled, like Howard got him from behind.
How about the lineup that Don Nelson has out here right now? He's got basically 3 guards and 2 small forwards. I don't know if there's a coach in the league who kind of finagles his lineups.
Finagles,
you like
yes,
that word?
I do.
Just mixes, matches, loves to try to befuddle the opposition. You like that word too?
Well, Don has to do it without that man, Michael Finley, who's sidelined by an ankle injury. The Mavericks hoping that he'll be back in a week to 10 days.
Oh, they miss him desperately. He's, along with Nowitzki, their main outside shooting threat, and he provides so much offense for this team. They need him back quickly.
And the call away from the ball, it is on Jackson. That's his third. Dirk Nowitzki has had a sensational night. 30 points, 12 rebounds. Getting a rest with Henderson coming on. This is Henderson up top, played by Taylor. We're approaching 2 minutes to go in this third quarter. Here's Terry firing. Rebounded by Padgett. And Barrett pushes it down. McGrady has been quiet here in the third. Yes, that's his first field goal of the third quarter.
That's a shot that he has not been taking really so far this season. I think he's been very concerned about playing the way Jeff Van Gundy wants him to. Maybe there's a little bit of a misunderstanding there. Van Gundy telling him today, look, I want you to take shots. I want you to be aggressive.
Yes, he was overly careful, very deliberate in terms of what shots he should and should not take. Not the case tonight. McGrady to the rim. He has 29 points, and the Rockets are within 3.
Now, the great players, I think, all have to have a little bit of selfishness in them, Marvin. If they're not selfish, they're not being aggressive, they're not being confident, and I love seeing McGrady playing the way he is tonight.
Stackhouse lost it. Nice job by Jackson with help from Barrett. McGrady with no hesitation. So he has hit 3 in a row after missing his first 5 in this third quarter. 31 for McGrady. That's 1 shy of his season high.
3 buckets in about 1 minute, so you can see the type of player he is. All it takes is one to get him going.
10-2 run by the Rockets. Stackhouse. Mavericks now lead 75-72, so Stackhouse has come off the bench to hit for 9 points.
Rockets with a chance for a quick 2-for-1 here, which could help them close this quarter strongly.
McGrady from way downtown.
It's about halfway down into the hoop, Mark.
And the Mavericks will pull it back. There's a 1 second differential between the shot clock and the game clock.
Couldn't quite get that shot off early enough to enable them one more possession.
Stackhouse putting the move on Jackson. Rejected by Padgett and foul. Taylor stepping in the path. And the foul is on Taylor. That's number 4.
Like he did a nice job of coming across the lane and absorbing the contact. Had good position, but his foot was on that circle underneath the hoop. It's an automatic foul.
There's Stackhouse, 2-time All-Star, career average of 21 a game.
Probably bends his knees deeper than any player in the NBA. I don't think he'll be doing that for too much longer. That career starts winding down a little bit. Those knees hurt more and more.
Devin Harris checks back in, coming out for Josh Howard, down to 5.4 remaining in this third quarter.
Yeah, take a look at the knee bend here. He's almost all the way down onto the floor. Always been an excellent foul shooter.
Final seconds of the third. Barrett racing down. They had a foul to give.
Now they're looking for somebody with speed. I think they may have found it with Andre Barrett. This kid can push the ball.
Now to 2 7/10 seconds remaining in the third. And now Jeff Van Gundy makes some changes. Jim Jackson is back. Reece Gaines comes on. Next foul puts Dallas over the limit. Barrett will throw in. Yao Ming back on the floor. Barrett was looking for Yao. Here's Yao over Dampier.
You know, he did it against the Spurs. Thanks a lot, Nelly. Who's next? You know, Minnesota and then Phoenix and Detroit. Are those going to be the games that he coaches this year?
I like Don Nelson's explanation as Barrett kicks it out. Shot clock running down to 2. A lot of ball movement, but that did not look pretty. It's a 24-second violation. Don Nelson saying Avery knows San Antonio very well.
Yeah, that's going to help guard Tim Duncan.
So the end result, Dallas loses at home to the Spurs by 18, but Avery getting on-the-job training.
And unprecedented, as Don Nelson told us. He didn't think that anybody had ever done this, but certainly a valuable experience for Avery as Nowitzki knocks down another jumper. 32 now, and another trip to the foul line.
Counts, and the foul on Barrett.
Now, he's just so amazing. That you see the extension on the shot. He shoots the ball so high, and he's already 6'11", 7 feet, so very difficult to challenge that shot.
He is 11 of 12 at the line. 3-point play for Nowitzki. And the Mavericks now lead by 7. Sura and McGrady at the guard. Here's McGrady off balance. Sura able to keep it alive. Taylor looking to post. Ball knocked away from Sura. Here's Taylor with the step. Rejected. Combination of Stackhouse and Dampier. Nowitzki for 3. Way off. And back comes Gaines. Reece Gaines playing his first game as a member of the Rockets off the injured list, with Tyronn Lue going to the injured list. And the foul is called. It's a loose ball foul on the Mavs. It's on Harris. Let's check in with Craig.
Well, Marv, you're talking about the unprecedented move by Don Nelson to let Avery Johnson coach. Unprecedented in basketball, but not in baseball. Remember back in the early 60s when Phil Wrigley decided to have coaches take turns managing the Chicago Cubs. The Cubs cards of coaches. Steve, you claim to be a Cubs fan. Do you remember who those coaches were who took who took turns?
Well, let's see, I wasn't born yet, so I don't think so, Greg.
Well, they were Harry Kraft, Lou Klein, Elvin Tappy, V.D. Hensel, and Charlie Metro. And they led the Cubs in 1962 to a unforgettable record of 59-103. I was talking to Don Nelson tonight, and he goes, yeah, if I remember correctly, that was a disaster.
Yeah, now I remember.
How could you not know that, Steve?
I just, it was in the back of my mind. Had to search.
Eric Dampier called for the foul, his fourth. That was almost a czar-like trivia question.
It was. It was an idle thought is what it was.
It really was.
Thanks, Craig.
2 minutes gone by in the fourth quarter. Gaines with the step. Nice move by Reese Gaines. Reese, #1 draft pick of Orlando last year, appeared in 38 games, acquired in late June of that 7-player deal involving Tracy McGrady, Steve Francis, Tino Mobley, Teron Lue placed on the injured list. So Reese Gaines now on the 12-man roster. Shot clock to 4. Nowitzki draws the foul, and he'll head back to the line. Dirk Nowitzki averaging 25.5 per game among the NBA leaders, 33 and counting right here, along with 12 rebounds.
I wondered how he would play, Marv, without Steve Nash, because obviously he was set up for so much of his offense over the years by Nash, but he's really responded well. He's getting the ball in more conventional NBA sets, and he's handling the ball. They're running a lot of offense through him, and he's actually got better shooting numbers this year compared to last. So he's handled it extremely well, and what a night he's having tonight. 35 now with 12 boards, 4 block shots. There just aren't many players in the entire league that have his versatility.
Steve, when you watch Dirk Nowitzki, as Sura lost it, and a foul as Howard pulled away. He is held by Sura. If Dirk Nowitzki has room to catch and shoot, it's a 2 or a 3. Without question.
You can't stop it. You can't stop it, and the problem is as soon as you get up on him, he's got the ability to put the ball on the floor and get to the rim and get to the foul line.
It's a clear path to the basket foul.
One shot and the ball for Howard.
Josh Howard with the steal, and then Sura reached out. Officials conferring.
Now the long arms here of Howard enabling him to get on the ball. Looked like he bumped Sura. I thought he might have been fouled there, but you see Sura reaching in. That was a difficult play for Sura. It might have been better served just to let him go.
Nowitzki rebounded by Taylor. Mo Taylor now playing with 5 personal fouls. Yao Ming has 4. Good job by Dampier in covering Yao and then getting a bit over aggressive.
He couldn't get away with it on that one. Got away with it against Sura on the previous play, so why not continue to be aggressive if you're Josh Howard?
Howard coming over to help, call for that foul.
This zone has really troubled the Rockets here tonight. They've not gotten the ball to the foul line area, down on the block. They've been doing this most of the night, just dribbling the ball around the perimeter and settling for a shot, but McGrady knocks it down anyway.
Well, the shot clock running down to 2, and McGrady had to shoot. So it hits from downtown. Mavericks now lead 81-77. Nowitzki, yes. Dirk Nowitzki right back. He has 37 points. McGrady with 34. That is a season high for Tracy McGrady.
they've got to throw the ball in to the block like this right here. Make the zone collapse. Taylor has a little room to make a move now. And now you get the offensive board. So attack inside at Marvin, it gives you an opportunity to get penetration.
Foul on Nowitzki, that is his second.
Well, this guy has been absolutely on fire tonight. 14 for 26 for McGrady, 34 points. And the other guy, Dirk Nowitzki, 37 points with the high arcing jumper.
More frequently.
Well, he's done it. He's been extremely aggressive. I like the 7 assists as well. I think the duel is probably being won right now by Nowitzki because of the 15 free throws that he shot to McGrady's 5. And this has been a problem for Houston all season. They've been outshot by their opponents on the season from the foul line in terms of attempts by 99 free throws now. So that in 16, 17 games, that's very significant when you're talking about 5, 6, 7 free throw attempts disparity every single night.
And the major factor had been that Yao Ming was not going to the line, but he has tonight. Been there 7 times. Shot clock is down to 3. Stackhouse. McGrady got a piece of it. It's a 24-second violation. Dirk Nowitzki has scored all 7 of the Mavericks' points in this 4th quarter. Jeff Van Gundy very satisfied with that possession.
Yeah, excellent team defense. And then once Tracy McGrady has Stackhouse down at the end of the shot clock, he can use that length just to bother.
Here is Yao Ming, too strong, rebounded by Josh Howard. Howard. Yao on the board.
Yao's done a nice job of staying away from that 5th foul. He's played most of the second half with 4.
Mason Terry for Dirk Nowitzki, broken up by Tracy McGrady. So a couple of defensive stops by the Rockets. Taylor with Jackson and Yao up front. McGrady and Surin at the guards. Nowitzki now guarding McGrady. Here's Jackson for 3. Yes! Jim Jackson from downtown. The Rockets are within 1.
Set up by McGrady, who attacked Nowitzki, drew a little help from a double team that left Jackson open.
Nowitzki had nowhere to go. He thought he was fouled by Taylor. McGrady putting moves on. Finds Jackson. He's on fire. Rebounded by Howard. Jim Jackson with 10 of his 12 points in the second half.
Love the feed anyway, though, by McGrady. He's just played such a beautiful floor game tonight. Assisting on 8 hoops. Got 34 points and making a lot of great plays out here.
Oh, Nowitzki able to reach over Sora. That is fouled. He took a good pop from Yao Ming, and you can hear the crowd reacting to that elbow from Yao.
I'm not so sure this is a good foul here by Yao Ming. It's number 5, and maybe if it's Shaq, it's a good foul, but this guy's 14 for 15 from the line. Good aggressive foul. I mean, if you're going to foul him hard like this, but now he's got 5 with 6 minutes to go. That puts Houston in jeopardy.
Nowitzki 14 of 15 at the line. Well, national coverage of the NBA continuing this week. Tomorrow, doubleheader on ESPN. Coverage starts 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Detroit, San Antonio, followed by Indiana and Sacramento. And Saturday on NBA TV, Miami and Denver. Coverage starting at 9 o'clock Eastern Time.
How about the job the Pacers have done since the suspension a couple of weeks ago? They are playing extremely well without those guys. Austin Crozier playing well, Fred Jones. They're a deeper team than I think most people suspected.
How about Jamal Tinsley?
He's elevated his game, hasn't he?
Dampier with the block. Howard whipping by. Josh Howard taking it to the rim. That will lead to a Rockets timeout. Hello, Anthony, although Carmelo, we're told, is a game-time decision because of a sprained ankle.
I was a game-time decision tonight, too. I've been battling flu-like symptoms.
Yes.
High ankle sprain. Plantar fasciitis. I've been struggling, but I gutted it out.
Tracy McGrady has 36. I thought it was in sympathy for the departure of the Czar. Here's Stackhouse, rebounded by Yao Ming. It's a 3-point Dallas lead as we approach 5 minutes to play in the fourth. Jackson called for the travel.
Well, I know Jeff Van Gundy is not into moral victories. He of all people is not into them, but he's got to be pleased with the way his team has played tonight.
Well, it's a bounce back from an embarrassing performance Tuesday night. The loss to Detroit, 5th straight home defeat. They have dropped their last 4 games. Nowitzki with 41 points. And that matches his season high.
Dallas back to the zone. We'll see if Houston can get the ball down low again.
Here's McGrady for 3. Nowitzki able to sweep it. Sura trying to knock it away. Stackhouse. There's a mismatch. Dampier going at McGrady. Lost it.
Wow, no call. Looked like he got fouled there.
Now the foul on Josh Howard. And the Mavericks are now in the bonus. That's number 5 on Howard.
Well, take a look. The mismatch here. Dampier does the right thing, goes to the rim, and then he's all over the elbow. No call for Dampier, and it leads to the foul at the other end. Unfortunately, Bob Sura can't convert the free throw.
Bob Sura, it's his 3rd game back, returning after recovering from the back surgery. Said things are a bit fast for him. He says he hasn't faced NBA players since mid-April when he was a member of the Atlanta Hawks. Been a while between games.
Game is always faster when you come back from an injury. Of course, it was always way too fast for me, even when I was perfectly healthy. But it's amazing. It seems like everything's in fast forward for the first several games until you finally find your rhythm. I think he's finding a little bit tonight.
There's Terry from downtown. And last touch by Dampier.
What do you think of these retro unis we've got here tonight with the Mavericks?
You know, I thought it was retro. I think they're actually new.
Really?
With a retro look.
Oh, they've never worn these before. Maybe Craig Sager knows something about it. That is his job, after all, is it not?
Oh, you're turning on Craig after the trivia question. Here is Jackson. Looked like Nowitzki got a piece of it.
Well, without the Czar here, I'm missing somebody to pick on. And I don't want to pick on you.
Nowitzki takes it to the rim and rebounded by Taylor. Steve, feel free to it any time.
I don't know if you'd handle it quite as well.
No, I'm accustomed to it. You know who I've been working with the last few years. Here's Taylor. And that pass could not be handled by Yao. Then a terrific play. Deflected off Yao Ming by Josh Howard. Let's check in with Craig.
Well, in the NBA, you're allowed an alternate road uniform. Remember, a year ago, the Dallas Mavericks had those metallic gray uniforms that are criticized so strongly that they only wore them 1 game. Well, Mark Cuban had several suggestions from people who wanted to design a different one. One was from P. Diddy. He said, if you know so much about designing uniforms, go ahead and do it. So these are P. Diddy's models that they're wearing tonight.
There it is. Craig with the answer. And McGrady fires and hits again. He has 38 points. Mavericks 89, Rockets 87 with 2.5 remaining in what has been an entertaining game here in Dallas. Terry, not a good shot. Rebounded though by Terry. Meanwhile, Yao Ming inadvertently caught Josh Howard in the nose. And Josh shaken up.
I think Houston's got an excellent opportunity to win this game. They're more accustomed to playing in the half court than Dallas is.
Too much dribbling by Terry, and then Yao Ming was able to swipe it.
Houston, well, why not if you're McGrady? Why not? Let it fly.
So McGrady has tied it's a 3, has given the Rockets a 1-point lead, and McGrady has 41. That's the first lead for the Rockets since the early moments when they were up 6-4. Tracy McGrady on fire. Back in Dallas, 41 points apiece for Tracy McGrady and Dirk Nowitzki. It's a season high for McGrady. For Nowitzki, it equals a season high. The last time that both teams had 40-point players, March 10th of last season. McGrady with that 62-point performance, and Gilbert Arenas at 40 for the Wizards.
Oh, what a duel, and you got to think in the last couple minutes both teams will go to their stars, but Houston did a good job of doubling Nowitzki there, but Howard with the great move down low.
So the Mavericks now lead 91-90, minute and a half remaining in the fourth quarter. Sora played by Terry. Yao comes out to set the pick. And McGrady, he was loose. Yao with the rebound. Here's Sora challenging Dampier and scores! What a move by Bob Sora to give the Rockets a 1-point lead.
Well, the question now is, can Dallas execute in the half court without a true point guard on the floor?
That's a three-point attempt. Kept alive. Dampier on it, then lost it. Recovered by Daniels. Nowitzki, double team. Nowitzki, look out. And the foul is a block on Yao Ming. That is number 6.
What a sequence. Dirk Nowitzki gets away with a travel. Let's take a look at the sequence. Watch Nowitzki, goes up for the shot. Nice double team by the Rockets. You can't do that. He gathers himself, goes barreling in to Yao Ming, who happens to have a foot on the line, I believe. I don't know. His feet look like they might have been outside of that line. That's just a tough call.
That was a double dribble. The officials from the angle apparently thought the ball was knocked out of his hands.
And then kind of just throwing his body in there and gets away with it. And that's where that 5th foul on Yao Ming now comes into play. Remember the one he took against Nowitzki around the hoop? If he lets that one go, he's probably still in the game now. And now you've got a guy who's 16 for 17 from the line tonight, going to the line with a chance to put his team ahead.
Yao Ming fouls out, 13 points, 14 rebounds, although shot only 4 of 15.
Let's see if we can tell if Yao's feet are outside the line. It sure looks like it, unless that right one was touching it, but that's just a tough call. I'm not a big fan of that line, Marv, because a lot of players will end up just barreling in there out of control. And generally, I think if a guy's out of control, the foul ought to be on him, but it doesn't work that way if somebody's close to that line.
So Nowitzki has given the Mavs a 1-point lead. That's a season high, 43 for Dirk Nowitzki. Scott Patchett has checked in for Yao Ming. 40 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. Here is McGrady with the shovel pass. Taylor could not hit. Rebounded by McGrady. Rebounded by McGrady. McGrady cannot score. Kept alive by McGrady. What an effort. And he fires it up to draw the foul. Tracy McGrady with 3 consecutive rebounds to keep it alive, and he will go to the line. The foul on Daniels.
Jeff Van Gundy has been imploring his team to play with more passion. Well, not much more you could do on this possession than what Tracy McGrady just did, battling his way to 3 offensive rebounds, drawing the foul. What an effort by this guy tonight.
He's 3 of 5 at the line, 76% on the season. So the game is tied with 27.1 remaining in the fourth. And now Don Nelson takes. Getting the treatment from the crowd. He's now 4 of 6 at the line.
I think the guy to keep your eye on this possession for Dallas, if they can get it, and they do during this tie game. The guy to keep your eye on is Jerry Stackhouse. So you got to think the ball will go to Nowitzki. Houston should double him. Stackhouse is a guy who's used to taking a lot of big shots.
2-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. Here's Stackhouse, and he does take the shot. It's deflected short, and then knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Mavericks. Houston will take a timeout. The 22nd timeout left. Jackson will inbound. They get it to McGrady, but he faces the double. Here's Sura from downtown, and we head to overtime. Fouled out. So Tracy McGrady going on the opening tip.
Well, no Yao Ming, so you've got to just pick somebody. Why not go with McGrady? Probably the quickest leaper on the team.
There's Nowitzki off balance. He had no angle. Scott Padgett defending on Dirk Nowitzki, who now has 45 points.
What a duel between these two guys.
Jackson for 3. On the back tap, Stackhouse is on it. He has Nowitzki. Nowitzki is fouled. It counts! Yes, and the foul.
Oh, my. Now, Houston has done a nice job of not giving up too many fast break points here tonight, but this time, Nowitzki with the feed, and what a finish while being fouled by McGrady. Now going to the line to look for his 48th point. Incredible.
This is a career high for Dirk Nowitzki. He is 19 of 20 at the line, 14 of 30 from the field.
Who reminds me of Nowitzki, maybe Kiki Vandeweghe a little bit, but he's such a great shooter, but he's so fast and can handle the ball and deliver it to other people. What a combination.
Particularly at his size, 6'11", 7 foot off the turnover. Dallas back to the offense. Nowitzki. That won't count. He was fouled. So Dirk Nowitzki fouled in the act.
There's just nobody who can really guard him because the 3 men in this league are too small and the 4 men are too slow. And so he's either too quick or too big for pretty much everybody he plays against.
Foul was called on Weatherspoon. And Nowitzki now 20 of 21 at the line. Let's go to Craig Sager.
Well, Marv, this will be the 22nd free throw attempt. We mentioned that as a career high for Dirk Nowitzki. A year ago, he averaged just 5 free throw attempts a game. Don Nelson said you have to go to the line more, be more aggressive. So far this year, he's averaging 10 and 22 tonight.
And Dirk all by himself has gone to the line more than Houston has. 22 free throws. He's hit 21. Houston's been to the line 20 times. McGrady lost it. 7-point Dallas lead with 1:20 gone by in overtime. Nowitzki from way downtown.
Oh,
yes!
Come on. You gotta be kidding me.
53 points for Dirk Nowitzki. We are seeing one of the great performances in many years. The floor, 16 of 17 from the line. That tied a then franchise record set a couple of weeks earlier by Jamal Mashburn. It is now Dirk Nowitzki by himself in the record books. As Andre Barrett has just checked back in. It's broken up by Stackhouse. We're down to 7 on the shot clock. And Nowitzki with all 10 points for Dallas in overtime. It's been all Dirk Nowitzki. He has outscored the Rockets 10-zip.
This is an incredible treat just to be able to be here and watch this game and to see McGrady on the other side of the floor doing what he's doing. Amazing.
And here's McGrady for 3.
Well, there is time, Marv. There's 3 minutes to go in this game. Houston's down 7. They're only a couple of stops away from getting right back in this thing.
And you know, Dirk did it in 1:45, a 10-0 run
by himself.
McGrady now has 45 points. And the ball back to Houston.
And he made a nice call there as a pseudo official. He pointed it out. And looked like Monty McCutcheon said, I think you're right. Ball did go off Dirk Nowitzki. So Houston with maybe a little life here.
Rockets down by 7. Here's Barrett for 3. And rebounded by Howard. Barrett runs into Nowitzki. That is a non-shooting foul.
Houston still has to be patient here. It was an excellent attempt by Barrett, but down only 7. Just got to continue to defend, and notice they've put McGrady now on Dirk.
Dallas at one point led by 10. Rockets rally, able to send this game into overtime. Here's Terry for 3. So someone else can score for the Mavericks in OT. That's a 3-pointer for Jason Terry. Jackson from downtown.
Right back at you.
106-99 with 2:05 remaining in overtime.
And Terry has quietly put together a nice shooting night here tonight. 6 for 9, 14 points.
They double up on Nowitzki. Shot clock down to 3, down to 2, down to 1. Stackhouse. Good box out by McGrady. McGrady shovels to Weatherspoon.
Great feed.
And for Tracy McGrady, that's assist number 9. He's 1 assist and 1 rebound away from a triple-double. Minute and a half left in OT. 5-point Dallas lead.
Dallas can't fall asleep here and just try to run the shot clock out. Still a lot of time left in this game. They need a good possession here.
Nice play.
They got one.
Marquise Daniels extending to a 108-101 lead, and the Rockets take a timeout. Franchise record 53 points. Tracy McGrady 45 points. Easily his best game of the season as McGrady handles against Howard. We're in overtime, coming up on a minute remaining in the OT.
Dallas all over McGrady, doubling him everywhere, but it doesn't matter.
Tracy McGrady with 48 points.
This is unbelievable, Marv. I haven't seen 2 guys play like this in the same game, I don't think ever.
Mavericks 108, Rockets 104. Shot clock is down to 3. Nowitzki has to force it and kept alive by the Mavericks. Well, the ball ended up in the hand of Marquise Daniels, and he was able to find the path to the basket. Barrett just does get it across. Jackson for 3. Rebounded by Weatherspoon. Gives it right back to Jackson, met by Nowitzki, and he scores. 110-106.
Well, they've got a foul.
And there it is. Jackson gives the foul on Stackhouse. And that puts them over the foul limit. So Stackhouse will go to the line with 17.7 to go. Well, the last time that we had 50-point scores for each team, it was December 6, 2000, Lakers and Golden State. Kobe Bryant at 51. And the man who spent quality time earlier tonight with Ernie, Charles, and Kenny, Antoine Jameson, then a member of the Warriors with 51 points. And Tracy McGrady with 48. Dirk Nowitzki with 53. Timeout called.
Amazing spectacle by himself practically in this overtime with the fadeaway jumper to start things off. Then he hits the layup and the free throw that followed, then the high arcing 3. That Houston electing to take the ball out full court here, Marv. Trying to get McGrady on the run into a 3.
Houston using their final timeout. McGrady firing one up, rebounded by Stackhouse, and he is fouled with 7-11. Dallas with a bounce back from the loss here at home to San Antonio. They will go to 11-6, 113-106. Final seconds. And this is games. That will do it. A remarkable performance. A duel between Dirk Nowitzki, who finishes with 53, Tracy McGrady with 48 in OT. Dallas over Houston. For Craig Sager, Steve Kerr, and our entire crew, I'm Marv Albert. Good night from Dallas.